Hey, RetconRaider here, with another quick shout out to one of my patrons. Today I'd like to thank Nazzul, one of my Patreon backers who, of course, is represented in-game as one of our team psychics, Naz Odeon. Nazzul was one of the first people to suggest that I set up a Patreon, and he's been helping to support the channel ever since. Thanks, Naz. It's my absolute pleasure to dedicate today's episode to you. Oh, and as usual, I'll try not to get you killed. We were getting close to forcing a final confrontation between XCOM and the Advent Authority, and I think they knew it. With our recent success in reactivating the captured warp gate, and our current research into finding a way to access the facility that it was connected to, it was quickly becoming evident that Advent knew what we were up to. According to our ground contacts, Advent peacekeepers were more active than ever before, traveling in greater numbers and carrying freshly upgraded weapons and armor. We had seen Advent display that kind of behavior in the past, but never on this large a scale. If we wanted to maintain our advantage, we were going to need to keep hammering away at them. We had been successful so far, but that would all change if Advent ended up turning this into a full-scale war. I quickly sifted through our latest intel reports and picked out a new target of opportunity. Apparently there was a high-profile Advent sympathizer being escorted through our territory in northern Africa. I wasn't entirely sure what it was that they did for Advent, but it didn't really matter. All that mattered was that they were a convenient way for us to let Advent know that we weren't going to be intimidated. Since I wasn't sure exactly how dangerous Advent's new and improved peacekeepers were going to be, I mobilized a squad of our finest operatives. I assigned Naz and Dragonova to the team to help pinpoint our target's location, and I backed them up with several of our veterans, including Phoenix, Altex, Salviti, and Denal 246. Under normal circumstances, a team like this would be able to cut through anything that Advent threw at them, but these were hardly normal circumstances. It was a gamble sending so many valuable operatives on such a risky mission. I had to hope that it was a gamble that would end up paying off.
Spokesman has sent word of an alien collaborator moving through this area in an Advent transport. Apparently the loss of this individual would be a serious blow to the aliens, so we're moving in to take care of him. Locate the transport vehicle and neutralize the VIP, along with any hostile resistance. They prefer we bring the target in alive, but use whatever means necessary. Menace 1-5, target location confirmed. Move to engage. Eliminate all hostile contacts. Positions concealed.
Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to episode 38. Today we're on another capture or kill mission, where we have to hunt down an Advent VIP and either capture them alive or kill them for a lesser reward. We've been on these missions before, and they're pretty straightforward. We'll have to fight our way through 3, maybe 4 Advent pods, and then see if we can reasonably capture our target. It's actually a lot more forgiving than some of the other mission types, because even if you fail and your target gets killed, you can still theoretically complete the mission, you just get a smaller reward. Of course, it's also important to remember that we did just increase the game's difficulty. We're playing on Legendary now, which means that the enemies are stronger and more numerous than before. It also means that we no longer enjoy the hidden modifiers that the game uses behind the scenes to subtly adjust the RNG in our favor.
Scanning.
Our plan here is pretty basic. We're going to move Dragonova up to scout out the rooftop, and assuming it's clear, we'll start moving the rest of our team up there as well.
I will reposition.
If we can secure that elevated position, then it should give us a direct line of sight on the VIP and make it much easier to take out his bodyguards. Okay, it looks clear so far. Let's go ahead and move the rest of the squad up more aggressively. I'd like to have everyone in ambush positions within the next 2 turns, if possible. Oh, and of course, once we fire that first shot, the timer will start counting down. And if the timer runs out, then our entire team gets captured. But really, with 12 turns on the clock, I just don't really see us running out of time.
Go, go, go! Will do. Go, go, go! Got movement here! Overwatch.
Okay, let's go ahead and move Dragonova up to the edge of the roof, and that will give us our first glimpse of the VIP and any Advent peacekeepers that might be keeping him company. I'm not actually seeing a clean approach for her, so let's move someone else up instead. Everyone's in stealth right now, so as long as I keep them under cover, they should theoretically be fine.
Heading there now. VIP located. Target identity confirmed. I've got enemy movement here.
Alright, we've got 5 Advent peacekeepers in sight, split up over 2 pods. The pod attached to the VIP is pretty standard, officer, trooper, lancer, but the pod to our left is a little less conventional. That's a purifier and a codex.
Orders confirmed. On the move.
We're obviously not going to attack these guys this turn, so for now we'll just focus on getting our guys into better positions on the rooftop.
Moving out.
We'll probably end up attacking these guys next turn, but that will depend on where they end up moving.
Moving to Overwatch. Eyes on the prize. Go Overwatch.
Okay, let's see what these guys do. Well, the VIP and his bodyguards held still, but it looks like the Codex and the Purifier actually walked inside the building that we're standing on top of. That's a little problematic. Though, on the other hand, the Codex can't actually see us from in there, so that means that our pod probably wouldn't be activated if we did decide to attack this turn.
Roger that.
We do have about half our squad lagging behind, so maybe we should hold off on attacking this turn. I think we'll just focus on moving our guys up into better positions for now, and then we'll probably hit these guys with an alpha strike next turn.
Affirmative. Moving out.
I'm so tempted to just go ahead and hit them now, but I have to remind myself, we're on legendary difficulty now, so we don't want to be too impulsive. Oh, there's actually a third person in that Codex pod. Looks like another Advent trooper. It's nothing to really worry about, but I'm glad I caught it before I started the attack. Let's go ahead and pull our trooper back. That should break line of sight with the Codex pod. That way we should be able to attack the bodyguards without activating the Codex. Or we might end up activating everyone by accident. Whoops. Well, we've lost the element of surprise, but there's only 6 enemies on the field, and we do still have the advantage of superior positioning. Let's start off by bringing Naz up to the edge of the roof. We'll try to even up the odds by having him dominate one of the Advent Peacekeepers. Oh, that is not good. Okay, well, now we have a 3rd Advent pod on the field, and it's a Gatekeeper and 2 Archons. It's definitely a problem, but it doesn't change our plans too much. Let's go ahead and see what our options are here. We can apparently take over the Codex. For some reason, I always thought they were immune to mind control. That could be pretty fun, but... oh. Okay, forget the Codex, we're going for the Gatekeeper.
We'll break.
Oh my goodness. That is legendary. Well, that immediately neutralizes the biggest potential threat on the battlefield. So now we can start focusing on taking out the little guys. We'll go ahead and toss a grenade down here.
Get ready for a surprise!
That didn't kill either of our targets, but Dinal should have a pretty easy time finishing off that Lancer. There we go.
What did you expect?
Now I could have him start taking shots at people with his sniper rifle, but it doesn't actually do enough damage to kill anyone in one shot. Let's have him start lighting people on fire with his pistol instead. Actually, I could have him light that other trooper on fire, but I think he's better off if we finish off the wounded trooper with Shadowfall, because that will put him back into concealment. Alright, 3 down, 6 more to go. Now let's take a quick look at the rest of our options. Okay, I think I've got an idea of what I want to do here. Altex has the highest damage potential and the highest mobility. And it looks like he's got a pretty good chance of taking out this officer in one swing. Plus that move would put him behind full cover, which is a nice bonus. We could also send him after the trooper or the Codex, but that would end up putting him in a potentially exposed position, so I think our best bet is to go for the officer. Ah, of course. Well, the officer survived with 1 health, but that's actually not that big a deal. Altex will probably still kill him with Blade Storm. Now, I could still have Phoenix take out one of these guys with his Skulljack, but again, I'm not really comfortable putting him in an exposed position like that. Instead, I think we'll put our double agent to use, and yeah, he's got a grenade, so let's see if we can get that into a position where it will hit the Codex and knock out the trooper's cover. Oh, or even better, where it can actually hit both of them. Of course, that didn't do a whole lot of damage, but it accomplished what I set out to do. It took out the trooper's cover, and it forced the Codex to split into 2 much weaker targets. Now we only need to take out one of the codices, because we know the other one is just going to end up killing itself when it tries to hit us with a psychic attack.
No compromise.
That just leaves us with Phoenix, and Since the Archons are just going to attack the Gatekeeper and the Codex is going to kill itself, we'll just have him take out that trooper. Or maybe not.
No place for you to go now.
That takes care of the Codex. And that takes care of the officer.
What did you expect?
Now the Archons will both take pot shots at the Gatekeeper. Nice. Okay, that actually went pretty well. The only thing I was really worried about was that trooper, and for some reason he just stayed out in the middle of the street. Well, I'm certainly not going to complain. We definitely need to take out that trooper, but obviously I'm not going to do it with a Skulljack. We've still got 2 active Archons on the field, and I can't count on our Gatekeeper to keep them distracted forever. Oh, I see. The trooper out in the middle of the road used his action to go on Overwatch. So, let's incite some advent-on-advent violence here. Our double agent took a bit of a hit there, but that's definitely nothing to worry about. We've also got this Gatekeeper to play with. It doesn't really have a great chance to hit, but its main job is just to keep the Archons busy. Of course, we'll help the Gatekeeper if we can. In fact, let's see if Nazzul can take a shot at these things. He's not going to be able to take out an Archon in one shot, but thanks to his dragon rounds, he will be able to light them on fire. Nice. That's a pretty solid hit, plus extra damage over time. Now let's start pulling our guys out of the radius of this psychic bomb.
Here I come.
And we might as well see if Naz can target the Archons with something. Oh, nice. It looks like he can just barely reach them both with a Null Lance. Well, that takes care of another big chunk of their health. But let's take care of the Trooper and the Purifier before we let ourselves get too distracted with picking on those poor Archons. Killing the Trooper will be easy. He's barely got any health left, he's standing out in the open, but it's going to be a bit harder to take out the Purifier. He's got decent armor and a lot of health, and none of our guys are really in an ideal position to hit him. I guess we'll start by taking out his armor with a claymore. In fact, if we set off the claymore with a grenade, we might be able to take him out in one hit.
Placing the weapon.
Yeah, at this point we don't really need to save our grenades anyway, so let's bring Salvini over to the edge of the building. Hopefully he can take out that Purifier for us. He could actually trim off all of the Purifier's armor by just shooting him. But I guess we've already got the Claymore in place, so we might as well toss a grenade in there too.
Heads down.
Really? The Purifier's still alive with 1 hit point, so we still have to deal with him. Honestly, I'm not worried about his flamethrower. Purifiers never actually seem to hit anything with flamethrowers, but they also carry fire bombs, and those can actually mess us up pretty badly. At least that clears one threat off the board. As for Altex, well, he could definitely take out the Purifier with a Blade Rush, but of course then he might take damage if the Purifier explodes. Unfortunately, he can't just shoot the purifier because he still needs to reload his gun. But I think I've got an idea here. Let's go ahead and bring Altex over into a defensive flanking position.
Double time.
And now he can try to hit that guy with frostbite. Huh. Well, I'll admit that's not exactly the result I was expecting. I really thought that would do a little damage. But I guess it does get the purifier out of the way for the moment. Looks like the Archons are still focused on our gatekeeper. Uh-oh, I guess I spoke too soon.
Remind me to thank Shen for the armor.
Okay, Naz took a bit of a hit there, but it wasn't too bad. Let's just go ahead and take out the Archons before they can do anything like that again. Alright, that's another big chunk of damage and another Archon on fire. Now let's start moving up the rest of the squad, and they can take pot shots at the Archons wherever possible. Oh, hey, I didn't actually expect him to hit, but I'll take it. That just leaves us with one more Archon to deal with, and we can probably have the Gatekeeper take care of that. Nice. Okay, now we just need to grab the VIP and start heading towards the evac zone. I'm pretty sure there's still one more Advent pod on the field somewhere, and we'll probably have to deal with a reinforcement pod, but we should be able to handle that. Oh, and I do want to try hacking that scanning tower, but I think it's more important to get Naz back up to full health. Let's go ahead and bring Altex over here near the car. That way he's adjacent to the VIP. We'll start shuffling the rest of the team forward a bit, get some of them on Overwatch.
I can handle that. Got it covered.
And Elena can use Teamwork to give Altex an extra action. That way he can go ahead and knock out the VIP now, and hopefully we can extract him next turn.
Status confirmed. Target package in custody.
Oh, right. Not gonna lie, I totally forgot about that purifier. Fortunately, Naz has things under control. And there's that last Advent pod. Looks like an officer and a shield bearer.
Coming in. 1-5, we're picking up an enemy transport inbound on your current position.
Okay, we've got one pod on the field and another pod incoming. Let's start by having Altex grab the VIP and getting him out of here.
VIP located. Snapping off.
While he's doing that, let's see what we can do about these other guys. That shield bearer is tucked pretty far out of the way, so let's go ahead and move the Gatekeeper up to point-blank range. Oh, nice. Even with all that armor, we still did 10 damage with that shot. That actually puts the shield bearer so close to death that if Denal can hit him, it should finish him off. It's not a great chance to hit, but we might as well go for it. There we go. Oh, and we've got some loot, too. That just leaves us with the officer, and I've actually got a pretty good idea of how we can take him out. But first, let's get Altex off the board. There we go. And now let's see just how far Phoenix can move with that Icarus jump. Yeah, that should do nicely. Now it's time for some brain surgery. Nice. And nice. That went about as well as it possibly could have.
We've got access.
At this point, we've just got that reinforcement pod to deal with, so we're going to move the rest of the squad up and set them all on Overwatch. Once we've taken out Advent's reinforcements, all we have to do is take a leisurely stroll over to the evac zone.
I am trusting you.
I'm going. On
My turn to
Overwatch.
watch.
Scanning.
Looks like a trooper, a purifier, and a mech.
There's an alien patrol nearby.
And that takes care of the purifier.
We are known to them beyond vision.
We've still got a trooper and a mech to deal with, and I'm guessing, yeah, the mech is on Overwatch, so we need to take care of that before we start moving anyone around. We're almost done, and we've got explosives to spare, so let's have Dragonova toss in her second claymore. Now we just need to move up Selviti and... oh, right, Overwatch. Okay, we'll have our double agent take the shot instead. That trims off some armor and health, and more importantly, it knocks the mech off Overwatch. Now we just need to follow up by... I think we'll let the gatekeeper take the next shot. Not bad. That pushes the mech to the brink of death. I guess we should also start moving someone towards this loot, before it's too late. Oh, this is, of course, another chance to put that Icarus armor to good use. Though I am still tempted to hack that scanning tower. I'm just not sure it's worth wasting an action on. I'm also noticing I can't actually... oh, okay, there it is. Okay, I guess Icarus Jump actually has a cooldown on it. That's fine. We'll just get up there without it.
Double time.
It's moments like this where I really wish you could get more than one Icarus suit.
Target asset located.
Let's get Denal caught up with the rest of the squad.
I'm all over it.
And let's go ahead and take out these Advent reinforcements real quick. That takes care of the trooper.
Volk says hello. I have no more rounds.
Whatever you say. Tired of waiting around.
And that takes care of the mech. At this point, we've killed all the enemies on the field, so unless more Advent reinforcements decide to show up, there's really nothing else to do but head over to the evac zone.
I'll be there soon.
Seems doable. Good to go. On it.
Good work, everyone. Let's go home.
Get it out of here. I'm gone. I'm going. I can handle that. Let's go. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Oh, don't forget the gatekeeper. What do you mean there's no room on board? I really need to have a word with our engineers.
Even now, our enemy lurks in the shadows, plotting to destroy all we have built, to return us to the chaos of the old world. Only together can we oppose them. United in the Elder's love for us, we shall prevail, no matter the cost.
The soldier that joined us from the Resistance is certainly a quick study, having already surpassed some of our other soldiers' capabilities.
I'll admit, I wasn't sure what to expect from our first legendary mission, but I really expected something a little harder. Well, Advent had certainly tried their best. I'll at least give them credit for that. While our operatives had still emerged victorious from our latest clash, Advent had still put up one hell of a fight. I had never thought we'd see them mobilize something as incredibly dangerous as a gatekeeper in the middle of one of their urban centers. In the past, Advent had always focused on minimizing the presence of their more monstrous minions when it came to highly populated areas, but apparently they were no longer concerned about such trivial things as public opinion or collateral damage. I'm just glad that Naz had managed to so efficiently neutralize the thing before it could do any real damage. Our war against Advent had evolved once more, and although we still seemed to have an advantage over our enemies, we were going to need to keep our guard up. Advent was starting to get so desperate that there was no telling what they'd end up throwing at us next.